Hello, and welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley, and in this class, for the next hour or so, we're going to be talking about home safety. This is a public service announcement from Verbling.com. Okay, in my travels, one thing I have definitely noticed, culturally speaking, is that Americans are more paranoid about home safety than almost anyone. Yes, it's true. Americans love to keep a fire extinguisher and an emergency first aid kit and extra water and flashlights and tape and any kind of emergency supplies you could ever imagine in their vehicle, in their car, and in their homes. And people are very careful about doing things like monitoring their home for radon, which is a naturally occurring radioactive material in the earth, and checking for asbestos in the construction of their house, and not drinking from styrofoam cups, and all kinds of different safety measures that we feel we need to have. And yet Americans, on the other hand, all have a gun. So go figure. Hey. Crazy. Anyway, we're going to talk about home safety and practice our English by discussing what we would do in certain situations and talking about home safety in general. Hello again, Heidi.
Hello?
And hello again.
Because I took two Spanish lessons today.
Two Spanish lessons. Okay.
Spanish lessons.
You're tired? When do you usually go to bed?
Yeah, maybe after this lesson.
Okay. That's okay. 11 or so. Or it's later for you. It's earlier. I mean, not later, it's earlier for you. No, it's later. It's later for you. Sorry. And hello, Alabek.
Hello.
Hello again.
Hello again.
Hi again. Okay, we're gonna practice English. I'm gonna throw some home emergencies at you, and see if what would you do in the case that this happened. All right, let's jump right in. Heidi, what would you do if you were cooking and you have a frying pan and the oil caught on fire in your kitchen? Dun, dun, dun. What would you do, Heidi?
Yeah, I always stay very close to the pan.
Yeah.
And when someone called, I turn off the stove.
That's very wise.
Mm-hmm.
I once, true story. I'm an idiot. I did this once. I'll never do it again. I once put on a pot of oil to make French fries at home.
Mm.
Yeah. So I was heating the oil, and I realized, oh, stupid me. I have no ketchup for my French fries. I really want ketchup.
Wow.
So I'll just go to the market, which is very close by. 5 minutes. It'll take me 5 minutes to go get the ketchup and come back. So I left the pan on. Bad idea. Very bad idea. And when I came back, sure enough, the pan was on fire in my kitchen cupboards, which were,
Wow.
I had a set of cupboards above the stove, kind of raised up from the other cupboards. I had a fan above the oven and then some cupboards above the fan, and the fan was on fire. And the cupboards were on fire. Yeah, it's very stupid. That's true. But on the other hand, I was a good American, and I had a fire extinguisher in my kitchen, so I just grabbed it and I covered the pan immediately with another big flat pan, and I used the fire extinguisher. So it was all over in seconds, really. But yes, that did happen to me. What would you do if a pan caught on fire?
I heard if you have some vegetables in the refrigerator, you put it in the pan.
Some what?
Vegetables. Like
Vegetables?
cabbage or lettuce or something.
I wouldn't recommend that. If you add something to in the pan that has water in it, that's going to cause the oil to expand even more, and then you have more oil going to the flames.
Carrot or a lot of things you put in the pan. It's make that make the temperature lower.
But the problem is it will instantly react with the water in that. So that's the problem. Another secret to kitchen fires, which is what, as a chef, what we always used, we set fires all the time when I was working professionally in a kitchen. It happens. You spill a little grease, catches on fire, or your grease builds up over time, and little fires start. And it's not a big deal. Nobody even stops working. What we always have on hand is baking soda. Baking soda is an excellent fire extinguisher, especially for grease fires. Especially.
If you were still calm, you get wet the towel, big towel, like bath towel, then cover with that towel, that pan.
Yes, well, smothering a fire, that's called. Yes. Yes, you can, if you have a small fire that's contained in a pan, you can smother it pretty easily. Just cover it completely. If fire needs oxygen, there's no fire without oxygen. So if you cut off the oxygen supply, there's no fire. So if the fire's contained, that's true. But if you have like a grease fire that's running, baking soda works great. It's awesome. And it's easy to clean up, in fact.
Have you ever tried?
Baking soda?
Yeah.
Probably 100 times. As I said, I for a while I worked in a kitchen as a professional chef. So we had lots of little fires. And it's such a normal thing. I'm sure you both have eaten in a restaurant and the kitchen is caught on fire and you never even knew it. Because the chefs just grab some baking soda, which we have right nearby always, and you just shake a little on and it puts fire out immediately, very quickly, and you just keep cooking. Clean it up when you're done at the end of the night. No big deal. Happens all the time, every day. Another thing that puts out fires really well, common thing, but don't use it for grease, is another kind of fire. You use milk. Milk is actually, I don't know why, but milk works very well. But not for grease fires, because then it just spreads out the grease. Yeah, okay. Alibek, what would you do if you're let's say you have a faucet in the bathroom, and suddenly the faucet, you turn on the faucet to wash your hands after going to the bathroom or getting ready to eat. You turn on the faucet and the faucet breaks off, the handle breaks off in your hand, and the water's rushing out. What do you do?
Well, what is a faucet?
A faucet is okay. It has the little handles. You turn the water on and off. Well, sometimes the one in your kitchen may be one, and you can turn it to the left for hot, turn it to the right for cold. So when you wash the dishes, you have to turn on the faucet, or you have one in the bathroom to wash your hands. British say a tap. Okay, you turn on the tap. Okay, but Americans usually say faucet.
So I have a waterfall in the kitchen, yes?
Yeah, or the bathroom, whatever. The faucet or the tap breaks. Maybe it's a spin one, maybe it's a handle. Sometimes it's a lever up and down. There's many different styles.
Yes, and the water is going down.
Yes, the water won't stop.
Well, it depends. It depends. Which water is it? Hot or cold water? If it's hot water, so I think it's very good, very big problem.
Sorry. Yeah. Yes. What are you going to do? Step one is always panic. No, don't panic. That's step one. Don't panic.
The step two is find some towels, some how is it?
Okay.
Some material that should keep my hands in the safety.
Okay.
So I will try to switch off the faucet if it can. So if not, I will go out to from the house and try to find some mechanism to switch off the all water all water communication system.
Okay. What you might call a main water valve.
Water well?
Valve. Yeah, I wrote it in the verbal chat. So in English, we say, oh, you need to shut off the main. But we understand that means main water valve. An English speaker would say, turn off the main, meaning the main valve. A valve, really your tap or faucet is a valve. It turns on or off. It opens the flow. So you have gas valves, if you have gas or oil valves or water valves. Whenever there's liquid under pressure, a valve, you open the valve, it opens the pipe. Okay, you open the valve and the pipe opens, so liquid can flow through. If you close the valve, it closes it. So what you're talking about is you need to shut off the main water valve. Yes.
Okay, now I see.
Definitely. That is definitely one thing you should do. You also mentioned getting a towel or maybe rags to keep your hands safe, to keep your hands protected if it's hot water.
Yes, if it's hot.
Right. Keep your hands safe, not safety. Safety is a noun. This confuses many second language speakers. Safe is the adjective. I feel safe. Okay. It's an adjective.
Okay, I see.
Safety is important. Safety is the noun. So, okay. Try not to confuse those two. Yeah, Alibek, yeah, you're right. You're spot on. You need to shut off the main water valve, really, almost before you do anything. Because you're fighting a losing battle if you're trying to just plug the hole with your hands or with a towel. It's never going to work. So you need to shut off the main valve. This happened to me here in my house right here where I'm living now. But I live in the Philippines, and Americans they have a main water valve going into the bathroom, going into the kitchen. It's very obvious. It's just a lever which is parallel with the pipe. When it's like this, it's open. When it's like this, it's closed. It's very simple. It's very obvious. So it's obvious. If this happened to me in America, it would take me 2 seconds to, where's the valve? Okay, turn it up. Done, and the water stops flowing. It's right there. But here in the Philippines, they only make one water valve for the entire house, kitchen, bathroom, outside water faucet, whatever, and they bury it under the ground. It's crazy. It's gonna shovel and dig it out, and then shut off the water valve from the city water into your house. That's the only valve there is. That happened to me once, and it was totally ridiculous because it took me, I don't know, at least 20 minutes to dig for the valve. Who does that? Who buries a safety valve? It's a safety valve. It's not supposed to be buried. Very silly.
Did you do a waterfall for your neighbors?
Well, no. Luckily, I live on the first floor, and every bathroom here has a drain in the floor. So it doesn't matter really. It's just going to drain out. Because when okay, here's another weird thing about the Philippines. It's going to sound strange to you. Only foreigners have a shower curtain. To protect the water from going out into the bathroom. Filipinos don't use shower curtains. They just don't. They let the water fall because every bathroom has a slight low point and there's a drain in the floor. So all water in the bathroom just flows down the drain. So nobody cares about spilled water in the bathroom. It doesn't make any difference because it's just going to go down the drain anyway. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, it is an interesting thing that nobody uses a shower curtain I don't know, to hide in the shower. Here, they don't do that. To keep the water all inside the area where the shower is. They don't do that. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Heidi, what are you going to do if a child drinks a chemical product, some cleaning product, for example?
I heard we need to give them to drink some milk at the first.
Often.
And after that, we need to bring them to the hospital.
Right. That is true. Milk is usually good for many, many, many things, and you are right. But there's a word which I cannot even pronounce. It's an English word, but I cannot. It's a chemical which I cannot pronounce. It's like Icapec or something weird. There's a chemical which Ipecac. Ipecac. That's it. There's something called Ipecac, which actually this is a chemical that makes you throw up immediately. So if it's a particularly corrosive, like it's acid, like it's going to eat their insides right away, you have to give them Ipecac and have them, and then they'll throw up immediately.
Wow.
Most people, and when I lived in America, I had Ipecac that I never ever used, and I pretty much all my life I was used to, since I was a child. We had Ipecac in our bathroom medicine cabinet when I was growing up. I didn't even know what it was for. It was just ubiquitous. Everybody has it. It's everywhere, but nobody knows what it is. But you learn as you're an adult that that's what it's for, but I've never ever heard of anybody actually using it. But anyway, the first thing to do, I'll use my energy drink here as an example, is to read the bottle, because it may say feed them milk right away, or it may say you need to give the child Ipecac immediately, or whatever you need to do. So first thing to do is actually to read the bottle, because it's going to have emergency instructions.
Or you put your fingers on their throat.
Maybe. But see, here's the problem. Some poisons you don't want them to throw it up again, because it can actually do more harm. So it's tricky. Yeah, the bottle will always tell you. So that's the first thing, the first step. Absolutely need to check the bottle and see what the instructions are. But usually, you're right, the next step is going to be bringing them to the hospital. On the other hand, I have actually been part of such an emergency where the liquid that was drank turns out to be completely benign. Meaning benign, it's good, it's totally neutral. It's the child drank some kind of environmentally sound cleaning solution, which you can actually drink, and it's not going to hurt you. So after 5 minutes of total panic, it was like, oh, read the bottle. Oh, you don't need to do anything. Just watch your child for half an hour in case they have an allergic reaction. If they don't, then they're fine. It's really nothing. So it may be a very more dangerous than you think chemical, in which case you have to be really careful, or it's really not dangerous at all, which is what happened in the situation I was in. It didn't really matter, you know.
I don't have such dangerous medicine, chemical product. Only detergent.
Yeah, right. Well, first of all, you have to be careful how you store them, particularly if there's any children ever coming to your house. I mean, that's obvious. In America, they have a safety campaign. They have little stickers. Kids get them in school. They're all over the place. They're easy to get, and they're like, you know, the yellow happy face. You know, the smile, happy face smile. You know, a colon and a half a parentheses makes a happy face. You know what I'm talking about. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. The happy face symbol. Anyway, there's a symbol which is just the frowny face, the other way. But instead of a yellow color, it's green, like kind of a bright green, and it's called Mr. Yuck. And it's a little sticker that you teach little kids to recognize immediately. And you put this sticker on anything that could be harmful to a kid. Mr. Yuck stickers.
Do you know bleach?
Bleach. Yeah, for example.
Sometimes people use it now to remove mold in the bathroom.
Sure.
Then one wife or woman used the detergent to wash the bathroom, and after that she used bleach. It had chemical reaction. Then she closed the window and the door, or so she died.
Yes, this is very true, and you need to be aware of this. Yes, in fact, bleach, because many detergents, ammonia. You can't mix ammonia in bleach. It can make a very toxic vapor, which can make you very sick, and potentially, if you were in a closed space, it could possibly kill you. Actually, that you're exactly right, and the reason for that. Sometimes it's different chemical reactions, but sometimes it's because one is an acid and one is a base, and they react with each other. Well, it's part of their chemical nature. So yes, you have to be very careful about what chemicals you're going to mix. Again, read the bottle because it will tell you, you know. Not always, though. I don't know. It's all, you know, not... You have to be very careful using bleach with what you use it with. Absolutely true.
Yeah, so always I open the window and the doors.
Yeah, I just never... Well, of course I mix bleach with laundry detergent because that's supposed to be mixed with bleach, you know, when you clean your clothes. But other than that, I never mix bleach with anything. You know, most cities use chlorine bleach to purify the water, the drinking water, the water as it enters the city's water system. This is very normal, standard operating procedure in many countries, in many places. But
even pool water, right?
In pool water is chlorinated. Yeah, obviously. Chlorine bleach. Yes, that's right. Exactly. So a little bit is not going to really harm you. Obviously not, but... obviously, when it reacts with other chemicals, or if you just drink bleach out of the bottle, it's not going to be healthy. Right. Okay. Alibek, what do you do when you cut your finger while you're chopping vegetables for dinner?
Well, at first of all, I will stop the. I will go to the bath and I start to wash my hands with water. So then I should to see how deep is that cut.
Mm-hmm.
How how hard is that injury? So if there is some blood fall, so I should tie up it with I don't know how it in English medical white material.
Like gauze? You mean the white?
Yes, the white material.
White material that you wrap around? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's called gauze.
Gauze. Yes.
Right.
Before it, I should to wash it with some medical stuff like an how is it
Well,
absorbent or how.
are you talking about washing the wound with an antibacterial whatever solution?
Yes, I will wash it with some medical stuff before I tidy up it with those.
Okay, before you bandage it.
Yeah, before I bandage it.
Yeah. What's that?
So then, if it's not very, it's not deep cut, I think it will be better on next day.
Okay.
For one day, it will be good.
Right.
And if it's not, I should go to the hospital to show my injury to the doctor.
Right. Okay. That's right. Basically, it's pointless to do much if on your first inspection you see that it is a severe injury. In English, we say a severe injury or a deep cut.
Deep cut.
Or, a severe injury, any kind of injury, burn, broken leg is a severe injury. We don't normally say a hard injury. Okay, also, you dry it up. To dry up is a phrasal verb. It's actually separable phrasal verb. So you dry something up. You dry it up. Okay, so you dry it up, and then you use an antibacterial solution, or what's that red stuff? When they clean it at the doctor's, they're gonna. First of all, Alabek, have you ever had a wound cleaned at the doctor's?
Wound clean?
Have you ever had a wound, like a cut? Any injury is a wound. Okay.
Yes, I had it.
Yeah. Have you ever had a wound cleaned at the hospital or the doctor's?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of fun, isn't it, Alabek?
Oh, actually not.
Actually, no. That's absolutely right, because they don't really care how much pain it causes you. They scrub it out, and they put really painful solution in there, and it's really quite. It's more horrible than the actual injury by far. It's like 10 times worse than the actual injury. So, yeah, it is horrible. But they always use an antibacterial, some kind of antibacterial solution, and then they use that red stuff, which I can't remember what it's called. Iodine? Maybe? No, is it iodine? Yeah, I think it's iodine. They put on the antibacterial, then iodine, and then the bandage. I guess the iodine prevents new bacteria from getting inside, I suppose. Then, of course, you have to be very careful about checking your wound. And many people use, like the next day or something, they use hydrogen peroxide to clean the wound 2 or 3 or 4, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 times a day to make sure that there's no bacteria breeding in there, so there's no infection. So it's very important to clean, not just clean your wound the first time, but clean it again and change the bandage, and clean it again and change the bandage. Again, since I live in a tropical place, this is insanely important because people can get infections from very small wounds. Wounds you don't even see you have. I've gotten a blood infection from a wound I didn't even know I had. Something as small as an insect bite or a very tiny paper cut. Well, paper cuts you feel, but a very tiny scrape or something. I didn't even actually notice. And then it gets infected because it's so humid. It's such a bacteria breeding ground. It maintains a constant hot and wet temperature where I live all the time. So it's very easy to get an infection here. Really easy. And it happens almost regularly. So even the tiniest wounds I have to be really careful of, which I never did in the United States. When I lived in the United States, I would get a wound and who cares? I'd totally ignore it. And never really had a problem, but it makes a big difference what climate you live in, how careful you have to be about these things. But definitely, as a precaution, you definitely need to keep any wounds very clean and follow up. Clean the bandages. Okay. Heidi, let's change the conversation a little. What do you think, what are different parts of the home that can be dangerous and why? And you can talk about rooms, you can talk about pieces of furniture, you can talk about equipment you use in your house, appliances, anything really. What are dangerous areas or dangerous things in your home?
I heard a laptop is a little dangerous.
Laptop?
Laptop.
Really? Why?
Someone put the laptop on their lap, actual lap. Then he got burned.
Ah. Really?
Yeah.
Well, really? Okay.
And I have another apartment. I'm renting that apartment to other person. Then the person was living in that place until last year. Then after going out, what's the head of company? I asked the company to maintain that apartment. So he went to that place. That one room had a tatami mat. Maybe he put his laptop on the tatami mat, so tatami mat was burned.
Well, I know they do. They can get hot underneath.
So real estate company asked for some money for the compensation.
So why don't laptops have like little, I don't know, like little tiny legs? You know what I mean? So there's air underneath.
Yeah. So under the laptop is quite flat. Yeah. No air pass under the laptop. So summer season it's very hot. So I always put some small things to raise up my laptop.
No, I see your point, and I know it's a valid point because I have a laptop and it gets very hot. In fact, sometimes the computer shuts down because it's too hot. If I'm using my laptop on a hot day, I have problems. Anyway, so why are not laptops built with tiny little legs or something like that, so that you can put it on a desk and they'll have a little space?
Because they need to put laptop in their bags. So
yeah, but you could make it so you can push it in or you can take it out so that they're retractable. That's
yes, it's a very good idea.
It is. Come on, let's make $1 million. What are we doing here?
You should take patent.
Right? No doubt. But now I've just said it, and it's going to be all over the internet. Oh, great. There goes my $1 million idea. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay, that was a good one. Alibek, what is something in your home or an area in your home you consider possibly dangerous?
Well, teacher, according to some American movies, horror movies, as well as Final Destination or something,
Yeah.
I think any places in our house is dangerous.
Yeah.
And I think some danger situation of some case might be in everywhere, and from everything that we have in our home.
Yeah, well, if you're watching Final Destination movies, yeah, you're absolutely right. Everything and anything could kill you at any second. But,
Yeah.
That's a movie, So.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know. Those are great movies.
Yeah.
You try to guess how they're going to get killed. Okay, let's see. All right. Yeah. Anyway. Gruesome movies, though. Yeah, but realistically, what do you think?
I think in traditional view, it's a kitchen, bath because it's more wet place, and it's very in the floor, slightly
slippery.
Slippery, yes.
Yes.
So, then,
right.
And we have a balcony. It's, I think, very most dangerous place. Especially if you live at some high floor.
Very good. Okay. Let me ask you about your bathroom. Do you have in your shower area or where you take a bath, whatever is the custom? Do you have anything to protect yourself from slipping? Do you have a bath mat on the floor? Do you have things actually in your shower to make it less slippery? Like they have those sticky things that are textured so you don't slide.
Yes, I have a bath mat, and we have, and usually I'm going to the bathroom with bath shoes. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
So, and we should be very accurate with bath time.
Okay, well, I don't know about accurate. We should be careful.
Careful, yes.
Yeah, many Americans have there's little like flowers or little patterns. I don't know, seahorses or who knows, whatever, little designs, and there's like stickers, but you stick them on the floor in the shower or in the bath, and they have like sandpaper texture on the top, so your feet can't slide. It's actually impossible. They just kind of, it's like sandpaper, so you have a very good traction, that's called. When you slip and slide, you have no traction, so you slip or you slide. So anyway, that's what they do in America. That's very common.
That's interesting. I think why because American is more adventure nation. So they do something that we just ignore it in our usual life.
Yeah.
But notice that little thing, and they promote it. And
that's very true. And I said that in the very beginning of the class, Alabek, and I've traveled quite a bit, and I've definitely noticed that little things like that, that's a perfect example, which are, again, ubiquitous. They're so common in America that you expect to see them in everyone's house. You're a little surprised when they don't have something like that. Very small, simple safety things. Or like Mr. Yuck stickers on anything that's poisonous in your house. And all children understand Mr. Yuck is poison. No, stay away from Mr. Yuck. Really, it's so common. But then there's, other countries, and Americans all will have a fire extinguisher, and it's pretty much required to have a smoke alarm in your house. If you rent a house, if it's your own house, you can do what you want because it's your own house. But if you rent a property, it is required by law that you have a smoke alarm in each and every room. It's necessary. It's required by law that you have a fire escape from every window. Not every window, but from every floor. There has to be a ladder or something, a rope or whatever you can throw out the window. It's required. Absolutely every public place has to have fire extinguishers in every room. You have to. It's required by law. They're very safety conscious. Heidi, do you have safety equipment in your home?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Really? And you live in Japan, where there's constantly earthquakes and tsunamis and crazy,
yes.
dangerous things.
I mentioned before I'm living in a tall building, and it's quite new, so it has some anti no, I'm not sure. Earthquake.
Seismic.
Seismic, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anti-seismic what? Construction element?
Yes. Underground, there are some equipment, like oil pressure system.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. I see. All right. But you yourself, do you have an emergency first aid kit with bandages or?
So I don't have anything to prepare.
Really? Seriously?
I think this place is very peaceful. I don't have any flood.
It doesn't matter how peaceful it is. People get cut when they're chopping up vegetables for, they're cutting up their sushi. That you can accidentally cut your finger. It doesn't mean there's a crime wave. Accidents happen to everyone.
Yeah, from natural disaster, it's safe.
Okay. Yeah, but simple things. I have two small children, so needless to say, we have like a massive medicine chest of all the children's cold medicines and cough syrups and baby aspirin and all kind of thermometers and bandages and hydrogen peroxide and antibacterial cream and iodine and gauze and all that and medical tape, and we have all that stuff.
But there are a lot of hospitals surrounding my house.
Sure, but you're going to go to the hospital if you cut your finger while you're chopping vegetables, you're going to go to the hospital because you don't have a Band-Aid? Seriously? Really?
I cut my finger many times. I always wrap with tissue paper.
Tissue paper?
Yeah, it became red. Then changed the tissue paper many times. Finally, it closed. No need Band-Aid.
Okay.
My blood became Band-Aid.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough. All right. How about fire prevention? Do you have a fire extinguisher in your home?
Yeah. And outside in the corridor, there's the extinguisher.
All right. What else do they have? Do they have an axe?
Axe? Why?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll see this in many American, especially public places like hotels and I don't know, auditoriums, schools, definitely schools. You'll see fire extinguishers every, I don't know, 150 feet. I don't remember. I don't know what's. There's requirements by law, but I don't remember what they are. But also you'll see axes in case of emergency, break glass, and they'll have an axe in case you have to chop down any doors or whatever. Um, they'll have hoses, like in a hotel. Commonly, there's a hose with a big valve. You know, we talked about valves earlier. A big circle valve. You can turn it on and you can put out a massive hotel fire if you had to. Sounds funny, but it's true. And as I said, pretty much everyone. I don't really know. Pretty much everyone I knew, maybe some, young teenage college students would not have such equipment. Pretty much everyone I knew had a fire extinguisher, for sure, or two.
When I was a child, my brother always had some knife or something, axe. When they play outside, they cut trees and bamboo.
Yeah. Right.
And make some toys by themselves.
Right. So they're out there chopping up bamboo with axes, but they don't even have a Band-Aid in their house. Okay. All right. Okay. And Sim, I don't know. Do you have medicine? Do you keep medicine at home? Do you have a medicine cabinet?
Yes, I have. Okay. Bandage or some small
things. Okay. Small things. And aspirin and any medicines that you had to take before and you forget about, you leave it in the medicine cabinet. Yeah, okay. Is it in the bathroom?
No.
No? Okay. I just asked. I know that seems like a weird question, but in America it's very traditional. The medicine cabinet is always above the sink. There's a mirror, and you can pull the mirror, and behind the mirror there are shelves with medicine that is like everywhere.
There's only toothbrush and paste.
Yeah. Right, and but they have a special kind of cabinet that looks like a mirror in America, and everybody has this in their bathroom. I mean, literally everyone. And you can open the mirror. It has a snap magnetic close. You snap it open. It's very common, like you go to a party at somebody's house you've never been to, so you want to see, let's see if they're taking drugs. Are they on medication? Go to the bathroom, look in their medicine cabinet.
I cut my finger in your house, I'll check your bathroom.
Yeah, well, that would work. That would work in America, but I live in the Philippines now, so that idea is unheard of here. Let me ask Alibek. This is such a weird question. I've never asked before. Alibek, do you know what a medicine cabinet is?
Yes, it is a place where we keep some medicine, drugs.
Yeah.
Medical
supplies. All right. Do you have such a thing?
Yes, we have, but we keep our medicine in the kitchen.
Yeah, me too here in the Philippines, but yeah, in the United States, it's always in the bathroom. It's always a mirror, like you look when you wash your hands. You look in a mirror, and that's always where it is. Like it's secret, like it's hidden, like it's a secret cabinet or something. But everybody knows about it. It's a weird thing, really, when I think about it. I didn't really think about it from another perspective, but it is weird. Alibek, what do you have for safety? What safety? Okay, you have a medicine cabinet. Do you have a fire extinguisher? Do you have smoke alarms?
Yes, we have in the hall, in the common hall. Out from our door.
Right.
But not flat, but in the common place, where public place.
Right. Okay. Understood. Okay. Do you have smoke alarms in your house?
Yes, it is a smoke alarm, and
Yeah,
it's I don't know how in English, and some stuff or some big red bottle to how
fire alarm?
to no to fight with fire. How is it?
Is it a sprinkler system? Water in the ceiling, like that, or a fire extinguisher?
Oh, I just okay.
Okay, a fire extinguisher is the tank,
Yes,
and it
yes,
has a
it's
hose, and you have
fire
to
extinguisher.
pull out the pin, and then you squeeze the trigger, and it makes a big loud noise.
Yes, it is fire extinguisher.
Uh, Fire extinguisher. Yeah. Have you ever fired a fire extinguisher? Have you ever shot one?
Yes, but not on the fire. It's just for laugh, just for laugh.
Right, right. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, right? It's kind of
yes, it is funny.
Surprisingly loud and violent.
And I must say that it's not an easy, because it's
yeah, a lot of pressure.
Yeah, pressure, hard pressure on your hands.
Yes, you think it's simple, but it sort of starts to take off with you. You start spraying everywhere. It's hard to control. That's very, very true. So for those of you who have never fired a fire extinguisher, you really should, to get the feel. Otherwise, you may shoot it and it may shoot out of your hands into another room. Seriously.
Yeah. And I saw some clip in the YouTube when some guy is just flying on it. You can check it out.
Okay. Yeah, it's quite possible. Okay. All right, so you have smoke alarms. Now, you live on, I think you mentioned a balcony at your house.
Yes.
Do you have any kind of fire escape? Can you escape other than your front door? Can you escape outside your building? Is it possible?
For me, it is possible, but not from my wife or my...
What do you mean?
Because we live on the first floor, and I just can easily get out from my balcony to the outside. Jump. Yeah, I can jump.
Oh, okay. But you don't have like a ladder or anything like that?
No, we have not, because we live in the first
floor. But do other people in your do people have fire stairs or fire ladders that they can use in tall buildings in your country?
Yes, in the country we have it, sure. But about our building, I'm not sure. I didn't notice it.
Okay.
Maybe it's there, but I don't know.
Right. If you ever watch,
I don't care about others, because I live.
Right. I understand. If you ever watch American movies, though, a lot of times the bad guys jump out the window, and then they have a fight on the fire escape. I'm sure you've seen that a lot of times.
Especially in the New York City,
yes.
Big weather.
All buildings have fire escapes or fire ladders that you can drop. They don't touch the ground, because then criminals could crawl up to your apartment. But they're up in the air, and if you're trying to go down, you can release a hook and drop a ladder to the ground. Right, and every place has. You can go outside if your door is blocked from your apartment building. You can. There's another way. You can go out the window. Heidi, do they have fire escapes in? Do they have like that, ladders outside the building? If you went out a window, for example, could you escape your building?
Like slider?
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a slider type. The ones I'm familiar with are either stairs or ladders.
Elevator, 4 elevator, and another staircase. 2 staircases.
Okay, but they're inside staircases?
No,
Inside the building?
inside the building. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, in case the inside of the building is engulfed with smoke and fire and smoke goes up, inside staircases are pointless. Ask many people in the World Trade Center, for example. Many people could not make it down because it's not possible. They only had inside staircases. But many buildings, of course it's impossible if it's 100 stories. That's ridiculous. But many apartment buildings, I don't know, 10, 12-story buildings like in New York City, they have outside staircase, outside metal stairs or ladders that drop from a hook.
Wow. Dangerous.
Dangerous, but a lot more dangerous to just burn up and die, of course. I would risk an outside ladder as opposed to a 1,000-degree flame. Definitely. Okay. Well, that was an interesting discussion. Thank you for joining me, Albeck and Heidi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Opie.
Well, thank you. Whoops! I fell down. Emergency. Call the doctor. No, I'm kidding. I'm perfectly fine. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
See you later, alligator.
All right, in a while, crocodile.